Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd Central. I am clearly not Mary Grace Rice. I am your host this week, Andy Johnson, as Mary Grace is recovering from the flu. We have another installment of Mighty Morphin Madness and reviews of Hook and Chicken Little. Plus we have our interview with Jupiter Jet creators Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson. Later on we battle who the best DC Comics character is on Showdown. But first, let's talk about some movie news. On March 4th, the Academy of Arts and Sciences held their annual awards show, the Oscars. Here are some of the highlights from the show. Dunkirk was nominated for 8 awards at the show and won 3 of them, including film editing, sound editing, and mixing. Blade Runner 2049 was nominated for 5 awards and won 2, including cinematography and visual effects. Disney Pixar's hit Coco won Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song for Remember Me. Allison Janney won Best Supporting Actress. The Darkest Hour was nominated for 6 awards and winning 2, including makeup and hairstyling and Best Leading Actor. Get Out won for Best Original Screenplay with Call Me By Your Name for Best Adapted Screenplay. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was nominated for 7 and winning 2, including Best Lead Actress and Best Supporting Actor. The big winner of the night was The Shape of Water, being nominated for 13 awards and winning 4, including Production Design, Best Original Score, Best Director, and the big one, Best Picture, including Guillermo del Toro, the director of the film, checking the envelope to make sure that they won. They didn't want a whole La La Land situation again. Apparently, falling in love with a fish would get you the biggest award in Hollywood. Who knew? The 1965 Best Picture winner is finally getting a long-awaited sequel. Mary Poppins Returns debuted its first trailer. Set 20 years after the first film, Michael and Jane Banks, this time played by Ben Whishaw and Emily Mortimer, are all grown up, and Michael lives in the same house that he had as a child, but now with his own children. Michael suffers a personal loss, which triggers Mary Poppins to return to the Banks family and help them rediscover joy and wonder missing from their lives. I guess a spoonful of sugar does make the medicine go down. Now we're going to take it to Keegan Cooper as he will discover if the sky is really falling with his review of Chicken Little.
Hello everyone, my name is Keegan Cooper, and as I promised last week, we are going to find out if the sky really is falling. So let's get started with my review of Chicken Little. In the opening scenes, it would seem as if it's a normal town of animals living in perfect harmony. But what they don't know is that something big is about to happen, and Chicken Little will have to tell them that it is happening. In the opening scenes, you see the town bell start to ring, and it's Chicken Little yelling at the top of his lungs to run for your lives because the sky is falling. Now at first glance, this looks like a crazy way to start an animated family movie, but in fact, it's the best way. All of the animals run in panic, and eventually, the town water tower falls over and crashes into the building. When the dust settles, the animals cannot believe that Chicken Little has told them that the sky is falling. He leads them to the spot where it supposedly happened, but what they find is just an acorn that's fallen from a tree. His whole family is disappointed in him, and his friends are confused. But as the animals go on with their lives, and they make fun of Chicken Little, and they even plan to make a movie about him, you start to feel bad for Chicken Little because no one believes him, and the other animals at school are just bullying him. His family and his friends are disappointed in him because of what he said isn't even true, but what they come to find out, it'll make them happy. Eventually, Chicken Little runs across a little alien who is scared because he is the one who fell from the sky, and then his family left. But once the alien's family realize he is gone, they will return, and it seems that they will destroy whatever is in their way to find their son. Eventually, Chicken Little, along with the help of his friends, rescue the little alien and get him back to his family, saving the entire town. This movie has so much adventure and action, and that's what makes it great. The movie is set in a world where animals live in harmony, and then aliens fall from the sky, and then other aliens come back to find their son, all while destroying this little town to find him. What can you not like about that? This movie is family-friendly, packed with comedy, and has a great adventure storyline. That's all I have this week here from Nerd Central. Thanks everybody for watching. Join me next time if you're brave enough.
Thanks, Keegan. We're going to take a short break, but first, here is Haley Souther's review of Hook.
Hi, this is Haley Southard from Nerd Central, and today I will be talking about the 1991 film Hook. Directed by Steven Spielberg, this movie is a continuation of the original Peter Pan story, taking place several years later with Peter growing up. What a terrible thought, right? Who wants to grow up? However, in this version, Peter becomes a lawyer and married Wendy's granddaughter. At this point, Peter now has children of his own and has long forgotten about magic or flying.
Are you alive, little bug? Look out!
Clap your hands, Peter. It's the only way to say.
Okay, I'm clapping. Oh, good. You're alive.
All right, now, who am I?
Peter returns to Neverland with Tinkerbell after Captain Hook kidnaps Peter's children. With the help of Tink and the Lost Boys, Peter relearns how to fly. At some point in everyone's childhood, we each enjoyed the story of Peter Pan because he never grew up.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
I believe in you, Peter.
I believe in you. You are the Pan. You are Peter Pan.
I believe in you.
I enjoy this spin-off in particular because it shows a different perspective of the story. We know what happened to Wendy. She grew up, but we never know what happened to Peter after the original story. Some of us assumed he never grew up. That's all from me. This is Haley Southard with Nerd Central. Stay nerdy.
Welcome back to Nerd Central. Coming up, we have Mary Grace's interview with Jupiter Jet creators Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson, and our next installment of Mighty Morphin Madness. But first, let's talk about a little bit more movie news. A couple of movies have new release dates, but in both cases, we get the movies earlier than announced. The first one is Avengers: Infinity War. In a Twitter conversation, Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., went back and forth with Marvel Studios trying to convince Marvel if he could see the film early. Being the foundation of the entire MCU, Marvel obliges Downey Jr. with April 27th as the date RDJ could see the film. Downey loved the idea of seeing the film on that day, but he wanted to bring some friends. Marvel Studios jokingly suggested Captain America, Black Panther, Okoye, the Hulk, War Machine, and Falcon as his friends. Downey Jr. clarifies that the entire world are his friends. Marvel considers that a great idea and moves Infinity War from May 4th to April 27th to coincide with the international release of the film. That way the entire world gets to see the film on the same day, thus preventing the United States from having the movie spoiled for them. The culmination of 10 years of filmmaking will come together with the next two Avengers films, and because of the Avengers moving up, another film moved up to separate itself from that juggernaut. The video game adaptation Rampage will release a week early. After an experiment goes wrong, George grows to a great size, with the US government fearing George will be a threat. Johnson attempts to convince the government that George won't harm them, but a new threat reveals itself. Rampage will release on April 13th instead of the April 20th release it had before. Smart move, Rampage. You don't want to be in the wake of the Infinity War. We had the opportunity to interview Jupiter Jet creators Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. Let's check that out.
So I am here with Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson, and they are mostly known, you're probably mostly known for your comic book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. The world famous Jupiter Jet.
The world famous Jupiter Jet. We are a big fan of Schmodown.
Oh.
So can you describe a little bit about it? What's it like?
Well, the Schmodown is this amazing competition created by Christian Harloff that's on Collider Video. It is where people compete for movie trivia. Now, I am currently the Inner Geekdom champion, and what that means is that I basically know a lot about Star Trek and Star Wars. It seems like it's a massive deal, but it's just movie trivia. But it is an amazingly entertaining and fun show.
Okay, so what is it like? You said you were the Schmodown Inner Geekdom champ. What's it like being that? And who would you pick to go up against if you could?
You know, it's a lot of hard work because you got to constantly watch movies over and over and over again, especially like there are many Star Trek movies that I would be happy to never see again, but I have to watch them again for this movie competition. If I could pick anybody, if you know who Sam Witwer is, he voices Darth Maul on Star Wars Rebels, and him and I have had a Star Trek rivalry for quite a while now, and I want to face him in the ring for Star Trek trivia.
All right, well, let's see if it happens. But you're not on Schmodown.
I was once, and I've not been since then.
And so you think you probably don't want to do it again?
No.
Why is that?
It's too much work. No way. I'm happy to watch and support Jason from the sidelines. I'm the best Schmodown cheerleader.
The Schmodown cheerleader. That's what I would be too. I am right there with you. I wouldn't win it. It wouldn't go good. So, Collider Heroes. What is it like on the set of that show?
It's hot. It's a very hot set. There's a joke that we're the sweaties of the fandom world, and that is true. It's a very sweaty set. No, it's mostly just hanging out with a bunch of cool friends talking about cool nerd stuff, so it's a dream.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. So, Jupiter Jet, that's what we want to talk about. You guys are famous for that. So can you describe, yes, here it is. Here's the plug, Jupiter Jet. Can you guys describe what it is and kind of like the storyline?
Yeah, Jupiter Jet is a 16-year-old girl in 1935. She inherits a jetpack from her father with a mysterious power source. She robs from the rich, gives to the poor, and crazy guys with glowing eyes and ray guns come after her. So I like to pitch it as Kim Possible meets the Rocketeer.
Heck yes, I agree with that. I would agree with that. And where do you think, where do you see Jupiter Jet going in the future?
We would love if Jupiter Jet would be a cartoon series, because we think it's the perfect cartoon for adults and children.
Where can people find you guys?
You can find me on DCL Access every single weekday on the DC Entertainment Channel. Also, I'm everywhere on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Jawin, Jawin.
All right, and what about you?
You can also find me on YouTube at Jawin. If you watch DCL Access, I'll be plugging my flash column in the end card, so look out for about 10 good seconds of me there. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley V. Robinson. The V is really important because Ashley Robinson's a WNBA player who I'm sure is lovely.
We would like to thank Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson for their interview. They are truly one-of-a-kind people. Or I guess they're two people, so I guess they're two-of-a-kind? However, since we have conducted that interview, Jason Inman has left DCL Access. We wish him best of luck in the future endeavors. Now let's talk about some TV news. A hit Netflix show is getting another season. Black Mirror has been renewed for a 5th season. The news broke on the show's Twitter account featuring clips from the first 4 seasons on the show. The 4th season was available for stream on December 29th. No news on when the 5th season will be available, but seeing as how we had to wait for about a year between seasons 3 and 4, I mean, anybody's guess. When we find out, we will be sure to pass on the news to you guys. Now let's take it to another installment of Mighty Morphin Madness with Zach Brown.
Welcome to another episode of Mighty Morphin Madness with me, your host, Zach Brown, where we get to talk about everybody's favorite teenagers with attitude, the Power Rangers.
What is that odious stench? Smells like teenagers.
In this episode, I want to talk about another favorite Power Ranger series of mine, and that is Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Power Rangers Dino Thunder debuted on February 14th, 2004, and it was the 12th season of the Power Rangers. The season started with 3 Rangers, Connor McKnight, the Red Dino Ranger, Ethan James, the Blue Dino Ranger, and Kira Ford, the Yellow Dino Ranger. The 3 meet in detention, with the teacher in detention being the one and only Tommy Oliver. Actor Jason David Frank made his long-awaited return as Tommy Oliver to the Power Rangers after an 8-year layoff. Tommy Oliver is now a professor that specializes in paleontology and a science teacher at the high school. The 3 students find the Dino Gems and with the help of their mentor Dr. Tommy Oliver, become the Dino Rangers to try and stop mutant dinosaur-like beings from trying to turn Earth back to the dinosaur era. Along the way, they get help from the White Dino Ranger and Trent Mercer, the adopted son of multi-billionaire Anton Mercer, who is the main villain who turns into a dinosaur-human mixture in the evil Mesogog.
Who are you? I am Mesogog.
And Dr. Tommy Oliver becomes the Black Dino Ranger, the 5th time he has become a Ranger.
Aren't you a little old for this, Tommy?
I may be old, but I can still pull it off. Dino Thunder, power up!
Power Rangers Dino Thunder was the second season to have the dinosaur theme, the first, of course, being Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the most recent being Power Rangers Dino Charge in 2015. Power Rangers Dino Thunder was also one of the few seasons with 5 Rangers compared to the normal 6. Compare that to Power Rangers Dino Charge, that had a record of 9 Power Rangers, which even for me was a little overkill. Overall, the series is loved by fans like me, because it goes back to the roots of the original show with the dinosaur theme and the return of the most beloved Power Ranger of all time, Tommy Oliver. This has been Zach Brown from Mighty Morphin Madness. Now back to Nerd Central.
Thanks, Zach. That's going to do it for this week's Nerd Central. Nerd Showdown is next. You can get caught up on all of our previous episodes on KNWT's YouTube page. Also follow KNWT on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And follow Nerd Central on Twitter at nerd_central_TV. The battle to see what the best DC character is coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Get ready for the smackdown!
Hello and welcome to Nerd Showdown, the part of Nerd Central where we battle it out on a particular topic we have no business debating. I'm your host, Evan Van Zant, and with the Blu-ray release of Justice League, we ask the question, what is the best DC Comics character? Keep in mind, our fighters will be diving deep into their respective characters' backstory, so this is your spoiler warning. We have an all-nerd takeover showdown this week. To my right from Gen 2, I have Battle of the Bad creator, Madeline Mossbauer.
Yes.
Madeline, what character have you chosen?
The one and only Dr. Harley Quinn.
And to my left from Nerdmageddon, I have the man out of time, Court Jensen. Court, which character have you chosen?
I have chosen John Jones, the Martian Manhunter.
We had the opportunity to go down to Kansas City for Planet Comic Con, and we asked a couple of people a similar topic. What is the best DC film? Let's see what they had to say.
My favorite is Batman Begins.
DC doesn't make good films. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, how can you get any better?
Fighters, you know the rules, so let's showdown!
Let's kick it, let's all get wicked. Put your hands in the sky for a one-way ticket. Come on, everybody, gonna start this party. If we turn it to 11, then we can't go home.
All right, ladies first. Madeline, you have 2 minutes starting now.
All right, let's start with the Dr. Harley Quinn herself. First off, she's also a mom. She fights and being a mom at the same time, like point blank, that's it. But she had a kid with the Joker. She's insanely loyal to him. Like, that's the best thing ever. Love is the most powerful weapon she has, and she's very loyal to him. Her weapon is a bat. She can kill anything with a bat. She's human. Like, no superpowers, nothing, and anything that gets in her way, it's gone. Like, don't even try it. Let's see, also, she was in Suicide Squad. Great movie, great soundtrack, and they went on her backstory so much in depth. Her and Deadshot, backstory only. The other people, they're like, nah, Harley Quinn's the one that we need to focus on. And her and Joker's story throughout that whole movie, love so much. She's a cute little badass. Like, that's just, she's a little tiny. Don't make her mad. She'll get a little furious. It's not good to mix with. Probably shouldn't. Don't recommend it at all. Her hair, on point always. Costumes, on point always. That's hard to do speaking from experience. It's not that easy, but she continues to do it every dang day. That's true love right there. I'm just saying.
All right, Court, your 2 minutes begins now.
All right, John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, is the last of his race of Martian people. The planet exploded a la kryptonite, but unlike his comrade Superman, he's so much more. Actually, when he comes to Earth, in the new 52 recut version of his origin, and maybe even a little bit in the original, he comes as a detective. So he is a superhero by day, he is a superhero by night. So basically he's solving crimes and helping people no matter what he does. Oh yeah, he also lost his family. Very sad origin story indeed. He has a minor weakness to fire, but it's all in his head. So he has an invulnerability, like his skin. Sure, he can walk through the flames and the fire. And he had one of the awesome episodes of the Justice League where he goes to Ma and Pa Kent's house and celebrates Christmas with Superman, pets a cute little cat in his alien form, and gets to know the true value and joys of the holiday season. This man is awesome. He's been the leader of Justice League different incarnations, the international version. He is a awesome strategist, just like and he has powers, and I'll get into the power list. How much time do we have? Do we have 5 hours? Because it feels like he has 5 hours worth of powers. He is insane. He also is well represented in a multifaceted amount of pop culture, whether it be, like I said, the Justice League cartoon, or the new Supergirl show, newish.
All right, now it's time to tear down opposing characters. Your time begins now.
All right, first thing, who the is that? Never heard of him before in my life. Harley Quinn, we know everybody. Second off, he's got Voldemort's nose, aka it's not there. Like, just, it's okay. He's got red eyes, that's just screaming, not okay with me. I can't. Also, don't know who he is. I know who these four are, easily. He got like leotard stuff on, the belt. I don't know where he was hiding those clothes when he shapeshift before. Not adding up to me. He's also like not from Earth. He's a Martian. He's a manhunter, so is he sexist? Does he not hunt after women? I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm getting a little offensive. But let's see. He also he just doesn't look scary, but doesn't look like nice. Just in the middle, and I don't know how to put him in there.
Anyways, let's talk about cliche. That would be Harley Quinn. Yes, you mentioned costumes. Yes, everybody wants to go as freaking Harley Quinn. I get it. She's well known. Get over it. She's the best part of a crappy movie called Suicide Squad. Yes, I loved it when it was called a music video. Yes, she has limited powers. She was only created to be a Joker's henchman, basically in the 1992 Bruce Timm Batman comic or cartoon. Sorry, rather. And I just really don't think there's many layers.
She's not a female Joker. She's there for Joker. Like, she has her own pop. She has her own role in the whole movie where they have a background in her. She's not the sidekick of Joker. She's not like Batman or Robin. She is Harley Quinn, best friends with Poison Ivy, and she's her own person. She's not a sidekick. She's not scooted to the side. She can rule anybody. All right, do yourself a favor and just go with Martian Manhunter.
That's gonna do it for this week's showdown. This week I'm gonna have to go with Court. Court, you're our big winner. You have anything to say?
I just enjoyed debating you. I think you came up with some fun things, and that was really, you should have been with Catwoman because you brought the claws out. And I enjoyed that. That was awesome. Very fierce.
You can head to Nerd Central's Twitter to show your support for this week's showdown. Nerdmageddon is coming up next. You can catch Gen 2 kicking off Nerd Takeover at 8 p.m. with Nerdmageddon concluding at 9 p.m. See you next week on Nerd Central.
Thank you for watching this episode of Nerd Central. If you didn't watch last week's episode, you can click right here. To watch Nerdmageddon's latest episode, you can click right there. And if you like all of KNWT's content, click the subscribe button right over there. We'll see you guys next week.